Warning: this stream is rated for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
No? Yeah, there we go. Well, howdy D. Always some more bullshit, man. Always some kind of audio, technical, video, asshole type of problem going on. Always. Wouldn't be a stream without technical issues. Anyway, hello. How are you doing? This is the Squidge's Animal Hospital Theater. My name is Scotty, also known as EBC, and if you would like to check out our sponsor this month, all you have to do is go to sttiggywinkles.org.uk. Squidge is our sponsor, and she is trying to use her sponsorship to redirect you, if you are so inclined, to Tiggy Winkles, a fantastic wildlife animal hospital in the UK. It's the largest and most advanced free wildlife hospital in the world, and they do good work. They treat well over 12,000 animals free of charge every year. So they are a charity, and of course, if that's something that's important to you, go check them out, and they will be very appreciative, as would be Squidge. Squidge, Squidge, Squidge. Let me also give Squidge a shout out here too. There you go. Squidge, also known as LL McRae. She streams on Twitch, but not too often. It depends on. Well, lately she's been doing cooking streams, so you can check that out. All right, welcome Banana. Welcome anybody else that's lurking in the background. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining me. All right, so we're doing a paint by number kit today. Nothing that really holds like a lot of value to me personally. It was just something I picked up a while back. It didn't cost a lot of money to have something to have fun with and just chill and do a nice stream. Speaking of which, I think I need to get some music going here. Let's get something in the background. How are y'all doing? What's happening? Hopefully you are well. Musica. Let's see here. What do we have? Not much in the way of that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So let's do this because I'm not quite ready for the other thing yet. It's a bit loud. Maybe even a little less, man. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Right around 40. That's where I think I want it. God, I wish it wouldn't do that. Sorry if that's loud for you, the stupid Windows thingamabobber. There we go. Really, I think maybe if I just do this instead. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Now I gotta turn this thingamabobber back down. Okay, I think that's good. Don't want... Yeah, you don't want that. Okay. So the other thing is I am right now in the bar voice chat on the Conflux, and if you'd like to join me, stop on by and we'll chat. If you don't, no big deal. But you know, you're feeling chatty today, come on in, stop on in, and we'll set you up. Thank you, Legion Cage. Okay, that all looks good. Finally, things aren't blowing up. Who'd have thunk it? All right, so before I get started here, you can see maybe the tiny picture that came with this. This is what this kit is going to look like when, hopefully, unless, I mean, you know, I paint like shit, so it's probably not gonna look like that. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Before we get to that, I did pick up Amazon package on the way with some more stuff for WreckTech, if I recall correctly. Oh no, I think one of these things I needed for work. I wanted to get a coffee stir here. Because I like to do powders in my coffee, so that's That's what I bought to properly mix in the powders in the coffee. And there's specific. Yeah, that's a long. If anybody wants info on that, but it's a long drawn out thing to try to explain what powders and why and all that good stuff. So that'll help. And I used to have one, a smaller stick blender that was, I think, made by Mr. Coffee. Oh no, it's about this size. And it died. The little motor in there died, which it's not a bad. But this was highly, out of all the little stick blenders that they had on Amazon, this was a good, highly rated one for still. I think it was $10, so not too bad. So that came, and then this other thing I had on my list. Now, you might have been here for when I did the Super Mario cross stitch. And I don't know if I talked about any of that, what my plans are, but I used to do cross stitch as a kid. Here, let me get this stupid camera over here so you can actually see me. There we go. I used to do cross stitch as a kid a long time ago, and I really enjoy it. It's very relaxing to me. A nice relaxing time waster, basically. Artistic whatever. But in any case, I wanted to get back into it. So my rough plan was to thank you, Tubus One. My rough plan was to do a small project, which that was the first one, a little Super Mario cross stitch project that I bought on Amazon. I bought this on Amazon as well. Then I needed to scale it up, and then my ultimate goal, and I want to start this before the end of the year, is I'm going to create my own counted cross stitch. And I have an image, in a high resolution image in mind, but that's going to be a much larger project that is more than likely going to take the better part of a year. So we're talking about starting it at the end of or closer to the end of 2023, and it's going to probably take, I don't know, 10 or 20 streams, 10 to 20 streams, something like that, to actually complete it. And I'm just guessing. I could be completely, it could be 400 2-hour streams or more, for all I know, because I have no experience with this sort of thing, how long it's going to take. But it's a much, much larger cross-stitch project that I'm going to be doing. So this is the intermediary projects, with a S, plural, because they're literally in the middle as far as the size goes. Hello, Squidgerific. Happy birthday the other day. I hope you had a fabulous birthday, and you are well. Did you go out, or did you just stay at home and chill and have a nice little quiet party there with Pipkin? How was it? How was your birthday? So in any case, what I have, or what I purchased here, is a kit that is available on Amazon. I actually, if you can see this, LW Zays, Zays, that's the company name. I found this on Amazon, and it was $20 for 6 different kits. And I thought that was a pretty damn good deal for medium-sized kits that were going to help me step it up and practice a little bit more before I get to my big project. A reasonable price for what it is that you got here, and yeah. And then also design. So I was looking around on Amazon. They've got quite a few of these types of kits and different combinations and things like that. So 6 different cross stitch projects in this kit, and we're probably going to be doing at least, I want to say, 2 of them before we start the big project in the fall. Maybe 3, maybe even 4, depending on how it goes. I don't know, especially since I'm going to be moving at some point in the summer here. So, but yeah, you got Baby Yoda, Eeyore, Stitch, Groot with a power glove, and the standard Disney castle, and Lady and the Tramp. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't know the order or anything else like this, but these, yeah, at least 2 of these I'm going to get done before I start the big project on the fall. So I just wanted to show you this is how I'm stepping it up from the small Super Mario Cross Stitch project that I started with, and now stepping it up to some medium projects, and then we'll do the big project in the fall. So that'll be coming up on the WreckTech series. Actual day was very chilled. You did no work, Pipkin, and you ordered takeaway food. And well, hold on. You had to go get it, right? Because nobody delivers out to you, so you had to go in to get your takeaway food. You had to drive somewhere to go get it. Okay, what'd you get? What was the takeaway food du jour? Packing a lot of book orders. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, Indian. Curry or something else. I don't eat a lot of Indian food typically. However, there is a Indian restaurant. Where do I want to put this? That's going to be out of the way here. There's an Indian restaurant in my city. And when I say city, I don't mean Cleveland. I mean the suburb in which I live. That's very close to me, so probably within 2 miles of my work. And they do an all-you-can-eat buffet for lunch. That's all, the standard Indian food. And I want to stop there for lunch one day fairly soon, because I have eaten there before, but I haven't had their lunch buffet, and I wanna see what it's like. Lamb korma and chicken tikka, rice, bread, potatoes. Yeah, sounds great. Indian food very popular. So in UK, so 12 restaurants within 5-mile radius. Hey, there you go, man. You got the hookup. Yeah, I definitely need to explore Indian food more. And Thai. I want to explore Thai food a little bit more here too. No Mexican restaurants. Well, that is a travesty. So if you ever come over here, we're definitely going to have to treat you to one of the finer Mexican restaurants here, because they do put out some really nice food products. So yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a nice birthday. Hopefully, you're not, you're aging with grace. You're younger than me though, so I can say that as your elder, you youngin. You can, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm younger than you. I don't know that I've ever rightly asked you that, but yeah. I think you're a little bit younger than me, though. I think 34. Yeah, I'm about to be 41. So, you whippersnapper, you. You kids don't know how good you had it. Back in my day, we had to walk to school uphill both ways in the snow during a war. Yeah. There you go. Okay, let me get this switched over here. Yeah, young'un. Well, in our community here, there's only 2 people older than me, and that's actually, I should say there's 3 people older than me. There's Doom, who's 45. There's Tinkerer, who's 48. And then there's Cage, who's 107. But Cage, I mean, he sucks the life out of a virgin and, reduces his life by, 17 or 18 years every time he does that, so he stays young. And so we don't really consider him that old, You're gonna paint my number in your phone? That sounds like a mess. That sounds like wanton destruction, Ben. No, I don't want to destroy your phone like that. All right, so let's get to the mess making over here. I haven't done a paint by number kit for probably 20 years or more. So here's the destructions. That's roughly, but I did get a specific kit here that you're gonna work through the orders, so won't type much. Okay, thank you for the lurk, and good luck. Don't get paper cuts, anything like that. See, they printed the numbers on the canvas here, so I've got the paper just in case I can't read it for whatever reason. But I'm looking at this now, and I think that it's not going to be that big of a deal. I can pretty well see just about all of the numbers on this. So, I think what I want to do is kind of like do this in a half and half, just because of my table size and all that. Cage is sucking away the life of Benjamin. That's why Ben has a birthday every day, just so he can keep up with Cage sucking the life out of him. Yeah, that works. That gives me a nice area here. And we could do the top and then the bottom. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the paper away here, because unless I can't read the number for any reason, and I can pretty much see all of them, I don't think I need to insult the paper. Even then, the paper, like where the numbers are tiny, it's not much better on the paper. So we'll see. All right, let's just jump into this thing. So, poor Cage. We need some knives or skizzers or. How are all of you fine folks this evening? Tuba playing Squid Games. What's a Squid Game? Is that like a game that has a squid in it? Kind of like Goat Simulator? You're playing Squid Simulator? And is all that really just like swimming around and then like, eating and squirting ink at your enemies? Is that how that works? Splatoon. That's one of those color thingamabobber games, right? I don't know. I thought I saw somebody playing Splatoon the other day. Let's see what we got in the way of brushes here. Itty bitty, medium, and wide. It's a wide brush. These are cheap shit brushes, but that's okay. It's so wide. What's happening with y'all? What's new in your life? What's exciting? So yeah, we're definitely going to need the wide brush for these, like this, these wide swaths and that. But I do remember from years ago that when you do a paint by number kit, you want to do all the interior, the little places first. So let's see here. We've got oh, and once again, if you weren't here when I mentioned it previously, I'm sitting in the bar voice chat in the Conflux. If anybody just wanted to jump in and chat for a while or anything like that, you're more than welcome to stop on by, and that's perfectly fine. So like I'm looking at number 1 here, and I'm seeing it's some large areas. So I think I'm gonna skip that first and then go to number 2, which there's here, and that's a little bit larger there. I'm trying to find some of the small areas first, I think. 2, 3, maybe 4. Oh, here's 4s. Those are kind of big. Honestly, it kind of looks like a little bit of mishmash. They're all over the place. So let's see here. Maybe I'll hop around on these colors because, like, some of them are in really tiny spaces, others are in really large spaces. Yeah. So we'll just hop around, I think. All right, so let's start with a 1 and do like small spaces that are a 1. Yeah. I'm probably honestly not going to get this done tonight at all. I mean, this is a pretty big project, so I'm probably going to have to revisit it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this isn't. I don't have a steady enough hand to make this really good. Or maybe the right brushes or something, that just came with the cheap ship brushes. So we'll just do the best we can. Honestly, I mean, you look at some of, some pieces of art, and unless you're going for like a realistic look, and especially if you're doing it, I mean, this is all laid out. This is all designed. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have the artistic ability to create anything that even remotely looks like this. So, um, the way I look at it is that it's like you're nothing's gonna be perfect. Nothing's even gonna be close to perfect. So it's not a big deal if it doesn't like fit the format that you want. There's only so much you can do to color inside the lines, so to speak, and if it doesn't, really work out the way you want, okay, well then let's try something else. Like that. See, I just went pretty far south of that line, which may, I don't want to say may, it will alter the way the picture looks ultimately, but so what? Who cares? We're just doing this for fun anyway, so. Can you all see? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not getting in the way. Okay, is there any more ones up in this area? No, I don't think so. I think I got everything there. Mm. You know what I probably could benefit from is some toothpicks to use as, doing more fine line work. So at this point, I really don't want to, unless I absolutely have to finish this one, buy any brushes. Not only are brushes fairly expensive, they're also like paint by number kits are not going to be the main stuff that I'm doing on WreckTechs. Let's just put it that way. The main stuff that I want with there's three main things that I'm doing on RecTech long term, and that is uh, electronics, which as soon as I get completely set up with it, the first thing I've got on the dock for that is I've got the two Atari 2600s that need to be at the very least cleaned out, but refurbished and make sure they're in good working operating order. And then I've got some other stuff on the horizon. I mean, you've probably already seen some of that. I started with cartridges, opening up the cartridges and cleaning the contacts and cleaning the circuit boards and all that. So that's the first main thing. The second main thing is model building. I used to build models as a kid, and I want to get back into it. I recently stopped by Hobby Lobby the other day because I'd never been in Hobby Lobby. And, back in the day, there was quite a few places where you could go when I was a kid that you could get model and hobby stuff, model trains, and all sorts of stuff like that. Now, not so much. Now it's like, you go to a few locations and it's not exactly what you're looking for, or, they're focusing so much more. Like, I walked in the Hobby Lobby and I was astounded at a quarter of the store being devoted to home decor. Like, not anything to do with hobbies, not anything to do with artwork or creating things or making something from scratch, but live laugh love signs and silk flowers and wall decor art that's already pre-made and all that. A quarter of Hobby Lobby was devoted to these things that were already pre-made, that are the epitome of Karen decorating her house. I, when we went to the hobby store, none of that was a thing that they sold. So I was kind of disappointed, and even more disappointed when I got back to the model section to find that 90% of the models that they had were airplanes, military vehicles, cars, stuff like that. Then the other 10% of it was um, either Star Wars. They had like a maybe 4 or 5 Star Wars type models in there, or Gundam, the thing that Joe did a while back on his channel. Gundam models, I think is the name of it. And that's all there was. And I was like, dude, you've got a store the size of a Home Depot and half of an aisle devoted to models. Like, I was so disappointed in their selection. Like, back in the day, again, you could go into any hobby store that sold model kits and find Star Trek starships and Star Wars starships and, just anything and everything. And it just wasn't there. So essentially I'm looking at it like, okay, if I'm buying model kits, I'm going to have to get it from Amazon because they're the only ones that have what I want, what I actually want to build, which is Star Trek starships. That's probably the only models that I'm going to be doing on this. So I don't think I'm actually going to be going back to Hobby Lobby unless there's something specific that I need there, and I don't think that there's really anything that I would. So we'll see. And then the third thing that I'll be doing on WreckTech is cross stitch, as I had previously discussed. So I've got those kits. That's going to be next. In fact, we'll probably dive into one of those kits probably in, I want to say April next. We'll start breaking those out and getting more practice in on that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I was not happy with the selection at Hobby Lobby. I did get a few sewing items in relation to the cross stitch. A few more supplies that I needed. Including preparation for buying all of the thread that I will need for my bigger project. I bought a case and a cross-reference chart. So I think I spent $20 in Hobby Lobby total, and I would have spent maybe up to 50 or 60 if they had what I was looking for, but they didn't. So that's their loss. Okay. Not the greatest thing, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, at this rate, because I need to end this stream in a little less than 2 hours, so I'm definitely not going to be getting anywhere close to finishing this. So maybe we'll do it in 2 streams. I don't know. We'll have to see. Boom. Here's a slightly bigger one. Yeah. Toddler painting indeed. I could probably clean up some of these edges when I go to do the other colors there, I think. But this brush is not nearly precise enough to handle the tiny little curves that it's got in here. So we just do the best we can, that's all. No worries. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata ain't no passin' craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. Ben knows. Don't let anybody tell you that Ben doesn't know, because Ben knows. I'm telling you, Ben knows. No, Scotty doesn't know. Ben knows. Scotty doesn't know. Get it straight, Ben. You don't know. Scotty doesn't know, but Ben knows. Where am I? Who are you people? Where's my tacos? Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna have to readdress this, I think. This man. Where is it? Here. Let's come back over here. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to end up looking more like Picasso than anything else. But that's okay. Oh, shoot. Mm. Let's see. How about some questions, some topics for discussion? What is everybody's stance on the pineapple or no pineapple on pizza? Because I know it's controversial, but like, well, you don't like anything, Cage. I mean, like the epitome of pizza. You go to Italy and they put pepperoni on pizza. So, like, you not liking pepperoni on pizza is kind of like you, snubbing your nose and insulting the Italians. So, hey, at least you know that tomato is a fruit. You don't go out of your way to put pineapple on pizza. Okay, I could definitely see that. It's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. But like I remember, at some point during the whole debate controversy, somebody asked Gordon Ramsay about it, and in typical Gordon Ramsay fashion, he's like, "Pineapple on pizza? You daft?" You know. And I mean, I can see it both ways. I understand where, a lot of people are coming from. It's like that definitely isn't a topping you would expect. Like you would expect pepperoni or, sausage, cheese, peppers, onions, these things that are very commonly on pizza. So pineapple just doesn't really fit the commonality of pizza, and it's probably only like in I would guess maybe the last 30 years, sometime in the 90s, some pizza shops were like because think about it. Let's say you want to do a quote unquote Hawaiian style barbecue. You'd probably have like some chicken or pork and a nice sweet barbecue sauce, and pineapple definitely adds to it, like flavors the meat. Hell, I can remember my mom has used a coleslaw recipe for many, many years, and she puts pineapple juice in it because it adds a nice zing to the taste of the coleslaw. And I would say, Hawaiian, you think maybe luau or spit roast style barbecue or something like that. So I can see it at, the thought process maybe of the people that own pizza places in the 90s going, well, this works over here if we're going to try to come up with like different styles of pizza, different things to draw attention to ourselves as a restaurant, some kind of new food for you to try, and maybe you like it and maybe it's a hit. They would maybe see Hawaiian barbecue flavors as something that you could put together on a pizza. The problem with the majority of what that has become over the years is that every pizza place and their brother now has a quote unquote Hawaiian pizza. And all it is typically is ham, cheese, pineapple, and barbecue sauce. Eh, it's okay. In my mind, that really doesn't do it justice. The potential of pineapple on that. Because, I mean, barring not liking the taste of pineapple, period, you know, there's so much more that you could do that. Well, my mom also used to make pineapple upside down cake, which is heavenly, you know. And we're big fans of pineapple in our family anyway. We've been eating it for a long time. And a lot of different things too. A lot of different recipes and different food styles. But my point is that I don't think modern quote unquote Hawaiian pizzas do it justice. Like you go down to Joe Schmo's pizza place and they've got a quote unquote Hawaiian pizza that tastes like ass. Because it's, you know, maybe substandard products or whatever. And there's so very many pizza places now that just don't stand up quality wise. Because it's kind of become like an American staple. I mean, the same way that McDonald's back in the 50s and the 60s was kind of this newfangled thing. And, you know, Ray Kroc had decent food quality good quality items on his menu and all that. And now look at what McDonald's is now. It's a pile of trash. Hell, I used to eat trash every night. I used to, especially when I was depressed, I'd go leave work and stop at a fast food place and get some burgers and fries or chicken and fries or something like that. And after a while, even I wouldn't go to McDonald's because I was so over time thoroughly disgusted with the taste of just everything that they served was shitty ingredients. And I think that's what like pizza places have become quite a bit in our society. They don't necessarily focus on quality. So, in regards to the pineapple on pizza thing, I think most people either haven't tried it, or if they have tried it, they're trying some shitty Joe Schmo pizza that is that supposedly Hawaiian style set of ingredients of cheese, ham, pineapple, and barbecue sauce, and it just doesn't taste that great together. So I think a lot of people look at that and they're like, yeah, why would I want that? That tastes like shit. You know, especially if they've had it before. They've had a Hawaiian pizza or, you know, a slice at some point in their life and they're like, yeah, that just doesn't taste good, and it's maybe the combination of the flavors or whatever that they're getting at. And my whole point on that is when I get pineapple on pizza, that's not what I do. Instead of the standard Hawaiian pizza, I will get I will do pepperoni, pineapple, and banana peppers and then additionally, occasionally green olives. And I've talked to other people about this previously. To me, the savory and the spicy of the pepperoni plays much, much better against the tart of the pineapple than ham ever could. And so all I've done this entire time is suggested to people try that what I just said. Pepperoni, pineapple, and banana peppers. And try it and reassess your position on that with that. And then tell me whether or not you think pineapple belongs on pizza or not. Because if you've just had shitty quote unquote Hawaiian pizza all this time, then I think you're missing a big part of the pie, so to speak. No pun intended. Or maybe a pun intended, I don't know. Who's to say? Oh, you sourpuss. Live a little, man. Do I have to do like a community challenge? Cage is scared to try pineapple on pizza. Do your, donate your channel points to get Cage to try it my way. You don't like, well, let's see, yeah. But you are very picky. Very picky. And there are a lot of very common foods that most people like that you do not. So that puts a whole different spin on it. I wouldn't be going to Cage for food or food critic advice, because you're very picky, very finicky in the food department. Now me, I am a garbage disposal. I will eat pretty much anything. I don't think there's anything I missed up in there. Yeah. I mean, there's a few things that I don't like, and make it a habit of not eating them. Bananas, even though sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll buy some bananas. I'm just not a fan typically of the banana flavor. Beets, don't really care for beets. Don't really care for cooked spinach or any cooked greens like that, cream spinach or collard greens or any of that stuff. But the only hard no for me is rye bread. I absolutely refuse to do rye bread, and more specifically, I think it's caraway seed that gives rye bread its distinct flavor. I don't know what it is. It makes me gag. Which I think is actually kind of funny because my dad absolutely loved and still loves rye bread, and he'll eat it all day long. My mom, too, she likes the taste of it. But you're supposed to, like, if you get a proper Reuben sandwich with corned beef and sauerkraut and Swiss and Thousand Island dressing, it's supposed to be on rye bread. And I don't do that. So, like, anytime I love all the rest of it, so anytime I order a Reuben, I tell them to put it on a hoagie roll or something. Some toast. Oh yeah, there's no way we're even getting close to finishing this. Okay. So I got most of that section, the one, done. Ban Cage, he's a menace to society. Okay, so I think I got everything here. Oh, there's one. There's a tiny one. Nothing else that I really see here. Until we get back up in this section, and then I'll start filling in from that side. Hello, Selamu. How you doing? Good to see ya. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, that's about it there. So let's flip it around here. And start working on this other side. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yeah, me too. It's probably going to look like a pile of shit, but it may not. You never know. Well, now all the numbers are upside down. So, See this big one up here. Let me double check and make sure that I'm not. That down there. So let's actually, I think that's it. There's just a couple down here, and then this up here. So let's make sure we hit that in the middle first. Cage, can I get a shout out for Selamu there? Selamu does like tabletop games, and some of them online. Thank you very much. Like Kingmaker, I know is one that he plays. Tabletop RPGs. And if you're into those sort of games, of course, go give him a follow, and you can see those in action. And again, if anybody wants to join me, I'm in the bar voice chat in the Conflux. You're more than welcome to stop on by and we can chit-chat, or we can solve all the world's problems. It's up to you. Yeah, that wasn't going to be precise no matter what I did. And down there. So I was going to say, those three main things that I listed that are going to be on primarily the stuff that I'm doing on WreckTech is electronics repair and refurbishment, model building, and cross stitch. That's not going to prevent me from, doing some other things here and there. I want to do some more puzzles. I've got 3 jigsaw puzzles lined up ready to go for whenever, I want to do something different or, change it up. And my mom is retiring in about 30 days. At the end of March, she is retiring, and there definitely is going to be at least one stream. We had already discussed this. We're going to do at least one stream from her house because she has some trouble getting around. So we're going to go to her house to stream, which we're going to take a big portion of the rig out there to stream, and we're going to do some rock painting because this is a thing that she wants to get into. She found a rock that is, I don't know the name of it, but it's something online where you go on to the community, which is, I think is on Facebook, and you paint the rock and then you put it somewhere out in the world, out in nature to be found. And then the point is, if somebody finds that rock, they can then go to the group, I think it's in Facebook or, whatever it is online, and post a picture of finding the rock, wherever the location is, and then they're supposed to take it and move it someplace else for somebody else to find. So I thought that was a kind of cute idea, and my mom wanted to do that. So she's got the materials already, but we haven't really had the time to sit down and do that. She's going to have far more time when she's retired. So she's literally coming up to her full retirement at the end of March, and so sometime this summer I want to say like maybe May, we'll be doing a WreckTech stream from my mom's house, painting some rocks. And we may do some other similar streams from her house. I don't know. We got to think of what we're doing. It might be puzzles or something else but occasionally we're going to be doing some WreckTech streams from Maz and having some fun getting her in on some of the action, so to speak. So I got to work on that. I got to come up with what we need to do the rig to stream from her house, because I don't want to take this whole setup out there. So I think we can do it remotely through Discord and whatever else. I got to work out the logistics of it. Yeah, she's looking forward to it. So we'll see. We'll see what else I'm gonna do here. Okay, what did I miss in this space? We got a couple up here. That's about it. There's nothing much of anything over here. Just this little splotches here and there at the top. This bigger one. Okay, nothing else over here. got that. Yeah, that's all one big one. Bigger. So I hope everybody is well today. Did you have a nice weekend? Are you getting ready to go back to work like I am, or you got some other plans? What's your plans for the rest of the night here? Got any special things going on? That's a typical tuba question to ask. I'm not as evil as Tuba Swan, though. I mean, I'm also not spending a ton of time trying to keep it, really nice here. The impreciseness of the brush that came with the kit is, nah, it wouldn't make any of that really worth the time, I think. Just enough to try to make sure the spots that are supposed to be covered are covered. Nope, that's not the right number. Back off, you asshole. Not even close with this brush, man. Let me clean this up here. Get too much paint stuck up in there. Mm. Boom, ba-dum-bum. Now we got this big section here. Let me do this first. Boom, ba-dum. Hope everybody's enjoying their evening. And if you didn't hear me say it because you just came in recently, well, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. We're just doing a paint by number this evening. I'm sitting over in the bar voice chat on the Conflux if you'd like to pop in and chat for a spell or tell me I'm an asshole. You're more than welcome to do that. Hmm. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Hmm. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Okay. Try to do this. weaving fine detail stuff in here and see, hopefully it doesn't completely look like shit. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. Okay, now this is, oh, that's, yeah, this whole section. So this is essentially done here. I think this is a like part of the reason why I would prefer it. I'm probably not going to do another paint by number kit because I much more prefer the structure of like cross stitch where it's almost like pixel art and you have the square and you know once you put your stitch in it's done and you don't have to revisit it, and then you don't necessarily have like curving lines and the thing like this. Hey, fun, how you doing? Glad you could join us today. I am very well, and I hope you are as well. I hope you have been doing okay recently. No troubles, no stress. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's very let me put it to you this way, fun. It's very easy to do stuff that you enjoy on your stream when you don't give a shit about growth. Like when you're focused on growing your channel, it's all about, okay, I got to do, you know, this and that, what the people want. And, you know, I got to try to be entertaining and I got to try to do this and that. Not once have I ever, like, really had that as a driving factor in my streaming career. So I just do whatever the fuck I want and I have fun. So, but I really appreciate you stopping by, man. Well, first I haven't done a paint by number kit in a long, long time, at least 20 years. Probably longer, probably closer to 25 at this point. And like I was just saying, I don't think that I'm going to be doing another paint by number kit here again, simply because it's not necessarily the format that I prefer. Like, I like it, I like how it's done, I like the structure, and hopefully it's, you know, a decent end result, but I much prefer cross stitch, or there's another version of that that I may do from time to time called quick point. And you would see much more of that on here. So you did this with your grandmother. You tried doing a lot of cool things to spend time and get her mind active. Has she passed since then, or is she still with you? Yes, I will in a moment here. But the reason I ask you those questions is if you can still do those things with your grandmother, if you are able. Oh, she did. I'm sorry to hear about that, but yeah, I totally understand. You know, you do things like this to try to spend time with your loved ones and do things that are going to be, you know, experiences for you both. So, on that note, my suggestion to you would be find somebody else that you can share that experience with. If it was something that you enjoyed and you want to, find another person in your family or your friends that you could maybe share that experience that you did with your grandmother and tell them about her. What was she like? What did you come to understand about your grandmother and the time that you were able to spend with her? Share that with that person as well. This does not look great, at least on my end. I don't know what you can see with the detail of the camera there, but I am not doing fantastic with these lines. Anyway, I like Legos, but I'm not going to spend the kind of money that Lego wants for their kits. So that makes me not a Lego guy, I guess. I like the concept of Legos. I had Legos as a kid, but I'm not going to purchase their kits for the amount of money that they want for them. Well, maybe you'll find somebody at some point that you can get close to like that. Something like this, but Legos. Yeah, I've seen a lot of streamers that do Legos on stream, and it's always a fun thing to see because it's just like this, these kinds of things where you're building or designing something and it's a nice chill stream and you don't necessarily have to worry about what's going on with a game or with chatters or anything like that. So you were asking for a little more detail on what I was talking about there. That's cross stitch and quick point. So they're both forms of embroidery. So like anytime you see like a logo or something that's made out of cloth that's stitched on a t-shirt or on a hat or something like that, that's embroidery. And you can you can Google it. Not quick point. I mean, you can Google that, but you can Google cross stitch embroidery and it'll come up. And I'll show you here the kits that I just got, or at least a couple of these that I just got. This is what I'm going to be doing next on the embroidery fronts is, hello, Coptimus. So I got the Baby Yoda. I got there's Eeyore, Stitch, Groot, and the Disney Castle, and Lady and the Tramp. So these are cross-stitch projects that I will be doing here pretty soon. And if you want to see it, just look for the WreckTech streams on my channel, and that's when I'll be doing those. Probably coming up pretty soon, so. Mr. Captimus Crime, hello, how are you? I can't hear you if you're talking. You're either muted or don't have the right mic, or you're not talking at all, and I'm just imagining your presence. Doesn't show that you're muted, so I'm guessing you're having a technical issue with Discord recognizing your microphone. Potentially, maybe. I think. Yeah, I see you streaming every now and then, and sometimes I'm able to stop in, and there's also a lot of times that I'm just not in the mood to talk, and I just lurk creepily in the back. So, but I do see you streaming there every now and then, and I try to stop by. But I'm glad you're here now. You, I like I always have liked your witticism, your wittiness fun. You definitely have the gift for gab, and I like how you kind of, especially when you're on your game, you're just like constantly one after the other, firing off, and that's a fantastic art form in my mind. Very very similar to what a stand-up comedian does for a living. Mm. I myself have been mind help me feel. Yeah, well then don't force it. You know, if your goal is to entertain people, okay, that's great. But I was just reading a documentary and watching some of the last interviews that Robin Williams did before he committed suicide, and I think the biggest thing with Robin Williams was that he felt forced like that to be entertaining because everybody kind of expected it from him. So I mean, it's your stream, man. You can do with it whatever you want. You don't have to fit any type. I think like there's a lot of streamers that feel they have to be a certain type of streamer, or they have to be a certain type of way, personality wise, or something like that, in order to be entertaining or to, attract chatters, viewers, and whatever else. And I have never been a fan of that, because that it causes you to force yourself maybe to be in a streaming mode that isn't necessarily healthy, or isn't what you really want to do. And yeah, well, there you go. That's the whole point. So if you feel yourself getting into that mode where you're kind of, forcing it to be the personality that maybe you think everybody wants or is coming to your stream for, like me, or anybody else for that matter, back off. If they really like you for you, they'll still be there. But I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's what it should be. Is you're doing it for you. You're doing it for your enjoyment. If you don't have to make a career out of it, then just do you, boo. And on my end of things, I don't give a fuck. I do what I want. So I just have fun, and I do the things that are interesting to me. And if anybody wants to come along for the ride, great, fantastic, glad to have you. I don't be anything that I don't want to be. I excuse me, I am, but I have had to, for other reasons, greatly scale back what I was doing. I still do the public domain movie nights, and I want to say the next one's probably going to be in about a month or maybe a few weeks. I gotta look at the schedule. I've been dealing with a lot personally lately, and I'm getting some things sorted out, and I'm still trying to stream as much as possible. If not here, then in our in my home Discord, which is the Conflux, which I don't think you remember there, but you're certainly welcome if you would like to join. And what I do in the Conflux, I thought thought to myself, what are some easier things that I can do to stream and still have a regular presence and but not have to work as hard to try to put a stream together. Like, I mean, this is, I'm not technically working here, but the gathering the supplies, doing the things, and making the whole stream happen. So we do a couple of watch party podcasts, is what I call them. Like on Thursday night, we watch the newer Star Trek in the Conflux, and we just record our commentary, and I post it on YouTube, and then we watch some movies and stuff like that. The other one is for a 90s television show called Twin Peaks. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. So, that's fine. It's not for everybody. But, I do... I go back and forth between the Conflux and Twitch. And I like to do interviews. And we've got a regular podcast, Arcade, where Cage and I interview gamers about their favorite games. We just did one not too long ago with Skyfer from Indonesia, and he was presenting the Xenoblade Chronicles series. But yeah, I try to change it up a little bit. And that one that you were asking about in particular, the public domain movie night, I've been doing that on and off with another one that's very similar called Ancient Airwaves, where I play the old-time radio shows from before they had television back in the 1940s. If you've got Amazon games, they've got some retro games on there for free every month. Oh, really? I'll have to check that out. See what they got. We pretty much have everything in emulators. So as far as I know, like between me and my brother, we've got just about everything that they have available that's retro games and that. All the way up, I think, to, I want to say PS1. I think my brother has. And all of the NES stuff, all of the SNES. Some of the N64 games, GameCube. My brother was real big into GameCube back in the day. Well, I didn't know that they had that, but I'll certainly look into it and see what they have if it's something that I can use. So of course, thank you for the tip. But we'll have to see. And I told a couple of people I do want to, once I get some things squared away, I do want to do at least once a week a gaming stream. It's probably going to be mostly retro, but like I played N64 Ocarina of Time when I was a kid. I'd like to revisit that, and there's some newer games that I've been seeing that I'd like to visit. Some horror games, some of the Decisions Matter games. Like we were looking at Dark Pictures anthology the other day. And so there's some modern games that I would like to check out, and I would do so on stream, of course. But mostly retro. Because that's what I know. And that's what I'm mostly good at, so... I do want to get more into modern horror games though. Like maybe not indie stuff, but there's quite a few games that I've seen some of my friends like Legion Cage and Whitney playing that I want to maybe try my hand at. Yeah. There's a lot out there, man. There really is a lot. Well, like I mean, oh, so you got the emulators and the PCs? Yeah, that's great. Um, so like I remember when you were playing Little Nightmares. Hello, Atheline. Welcome. 3 prints? Well, there's only going to be 1 print. And it's probably it probably is going to belong to Prince. But I will tell you this, it will be on sale at some point when it's finished. I planned on doing that with just about all of the things that I create on WreckTech. Nothing's ready yet though. But I mean this might be available for purchase here pretty soon. I don't know. This is taking me for fucking ever. Like I'm not even gonna get even remotely close to even getting this half done tonight, so it's definitely gonna be an ongoing thing. I'll revisit it in the next couple of streams, I guess, maybe. Or hang it up for a while and come back. Hello, Root. Root. The lovely Root is here. Hold on. Howdy, howdy. How are y'all? Y'all go follow Myth Matrix. Root is into damned, I know this one. Cue the Jeopardy music. Damn. You should not believe in me. You should not believe in me at all. That's a dangerous thing. Yeah, Stray. Yeah, that's right. I saw you doing that. Which that's on my list. Eventually, I think I would like to try that. It looks cool. Looks cool. No, I was thinking of I keep thinking Apex, but that's what Fun plays. That's what I'm having fun. C plays. He plays a lot of Apex. No, it's Fortnite. Fortnite. You shouldn't have told me. I would have been here for the next 40 night minutes figuring it out with my fucking moldy sponge ass brain. But yeah, go check. I don't know why. That's you all are crazy. You're like, all right, let's go watch this fat hairy guy put some paint and slap it on a canvas like he knows what the fuck he's doing, and that's gonna be entertaining. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's 11. This is bullshit the way they kind of laid this out, but I whatever. Whatever. Okay, so that's a giant space. I'm gonna pull out that wide brush. You have a very discerning palette when it comes to streams. Cool and short. Oh, the Stray. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, but I am not going to pay the money they want for that, so I'll wait until it's on my wish list, so I'll wait until Steam puts it on sale for like 50% off or 80% off or something like that, which may be a couple of years. So, sure. Said, who should we raid? And you said Scotty. Well, so it's all Af's fault. You can blame Apheline. It does, but not enough for my cheap ass. For me to say, hey, I'm gonna buy that. Yeah, $24. Only $24. Dude, I can buy a car for $24. It might not be a running car, but $24, man, no. I wait until they go on sale for like, 60, 70, 80% off. So I actually I actually spent a good, I think, $70 this past Black Friday on Steam because I had a lot of things on my wish list that they had on for the higher sales. And yeah, I guess so. Just whatever it is, but I mean this is taking far longer than I anticipated, so yeah, not going to be done anytime soon. I just don't spend that kind of money on games like that. Especially the newer games. Like when they come out with a new game and it's 60 or 50 or 60, 70, $80, no. Nah. I don't need to play that. Which it's no shade on any of you that decide to do that, but I'm not going to do that. I've got quite a bit of debt that I need to pay down before I start spending like that on those types of games that I'm not even going to play because I don't do modern gaming. So it's like, I just put it on the wish list if it interests me, and then maybe eventually it'll be a good enough sale that I'm like, I'll go buy that right now. So, but yeah, I ended up spending, and I'll wait until they do a really good sale like Black Friday, and then I'll buy a bunch. Or if they've got like a really good bundle sale or something. That and Epic Game Store puts on the they have a higher priced game for free once a week, and they change that every week. So I'll go and get that, even if it's not necessarily something I want to play. I'll put that in my library just in case someday I do want to. I might as well get it while it's free. So I ended up picking the entire BioShock series up when some point Epic Store put the whole series on for free. So I've got all three BioShock games, which they've been telling me that I gotta play. So Cage and Whitney and Doom have been telling me I gotta play that. So excuse me. But I got plenty to keep me busy as far as streaming goes. Plenty of stuff upcoming. A lot of things coming. Thank you, C Star, for contributing to the challenge. It's almost filled up, so pretty soon I'll have to play BioShock. And like I said, I do want to devote at some point one night a week to streaming just games. And I'm thinking eventually that's going to be Mondays, but I don't know for sure yet. It's all up in the air. So So that would be that. But Stray is about a cat. You did that too. You bought it right before it became free. Oh yeah, yeah. That's you know what I did that with. Fun. I did that with The Sims 4 because I like Minecraft. I don't necessarily like the design of Minecraft. So, in the past several months, I've been playing a game called Creativerse, which is essentially Minecraft, but it looks prettier and it plays better, in my opinion, than Minecraft. It's just not necessarily as in depth with the lore and the possibilities of the world as Minecraft is. Then somebody told me that The Sims 4 has a lot of that open sandbox world type elements where you can essentially build anything you want. And I'm like, okay, why not? I'll go ahead and I'll buy it. And it was like $30. Well, now The Sims 4 is free on the Epic Game Store permanently. And it's like, yeah. I spent $30 on that game, what, a year or a year and a half ago, and it's like, yeah, I could have gotten it for free. And I haven't even played it. I have not touched The Sims 4 yet. So good job, Scotty. You got your money's worth out of that. But I mean, that's the way of it. You can't predict what they're going to put on sale or make free on the Epic Game Store or whatever, so you just go with the flow. And it is what it is. So, but yes, I do intend. Yeah. I do intend to, at some point, probably this fall at the latest, so fall 2023, move towards a weekly game night on my channel where I will be the more typical Twitch streamer and play a game for everybody's perusal and interest. Speaking of games, $40 for DLCs. Well, they can keep their fucking DLCs. Yeah, no. I'm not going to spend any more money on that. But it's free now in the... okay, so maybe that's what it is that, like, I kind of bought the thing. So they want to get you on the microtransactions and DLCs and stuff like that. So they made the main game free. But I bought the main game, and I don't know how much of that includes stuff that they want you to pay for now. I haven't even taken a look at it, so we'll see. But speaking of which, if you are into retro, next Sunday, I will be doing my grand reopening stream. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff, including one of the audio dramas will be replayed that you probably have never heard of. It's called The Thread of Day. It came out a little over a year ago. And then doing my first ever official speedrun attempt on Castlevania 2. So that'll be next Sunday. What time is it? 5:21. I need to end this stream in exactly 30 minutes. And we'll go raid. So, when it came to, like, how much of this thing that I'm actually going to finish in the time I have today, The answer is 2%. Hmm. So at the very least, you're going to see several more WreckTech streams in the near future for me to finish this. Yeah, we'll see. I'll get around to it sometime in the next decade, maybe. Well, I hope you all are well. If you came in with the raid, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. I don't know if I even introduced myself. I'm Scotty, also known as EBC. I'm the fat bearded guy that cusses a lot. Mostly at Isnib. Because fuck him. This goddamn mispronunciation of my name. Skoy! Skoy! I hope you're well. Fucking Isnib. I mean, they're letters of the alphabet. They're T's. They're just as legitimate as all the other letters. I don't know what his problem is. This really is a shitty paintbrush. For the Isnib abuse. Well, I look at it this way. Nobody is allowed to tell me that there are words that I cannot say. Nobody. I will say what I want when I want. Because it's my mouth. I own it. Now, there are consequences to that, of course. There's consequences to every decision. So if I use that to hurt, harm, demean, or otherwise damage people with my words, that's on me. And I take that responsibility. But when it comes to specific words that, if you're a fan of stand-up comedy, you will know as the 7 dirty words. The government especially can go fuck themselves. Because I don't care if you're a born-again Christian, an FCC agent, or just an uptight Karen who's got a problem with everything and everyone and how they do it. You don't get to tell me that I can't say the word fuck or shit or damn or tits or pussy or cunt or anything else like that. Motherfucker. Ass. Yeah. Well, I mean, he made it more popular. But it's like, you've got the FCC who says, well, there's 7 words, just 7 words that you cannot say over broadcast air, because if you do, we're going to fine you $5,000. And I'm just like, there's zero difference between those words and any other word in the English language, except for the fact that people decide that it's something they have to cringe about. I am far more disturbed by war, violence, racism, bigotry, sexual abuse, kidnapping, sex trafficking, stupid motherfuckers who go out there and disrespect other people's lives, kill people and everything else every single day. I'm far more disturbed by that than somebody using a word like fuck. So, sorry about your luck. I don't conform. And I have had multiple people approach me with that stigma. Polite people, civilized people don't use language like fucking shit and damn. And I don't agree. I do not agree. Civilization is respecting other people's rights, not attempting not to offend people with words that should have never been something that people get offended by in the first place. You want to talk about civilization? Let's talk about respecting people's right to own property, or respecting people's right to defend themselves, or respecting people's right to free speech. That's civilization. You respect those people around you, you respect their rights, and then you have a civilized society. The reason that things are shitty and the reason that people are miserable sometimes with the way life is and the way people are is because nobody respects the other person. Nobody wants to put forth the effort to truly respect their neighbors. And if you want to get on my ass because I use the word fuck, well, fuck you. I don't care. Because that is such a non-issue compared to the much bigger fish that we need to fry. You have no problem with people having free speech. You have a problem with them thinking that right gives them freedom from the consequences of their speech. I agree. I agree, because, freedom is responsibility. Listen to me. I'm ranting like fucking Isnib now. Freedom is responsibility. You want the freedom to make the choices, to do what you want. You have to exercise the responsibility of assuming the consequences of your actions, assuming the responsibility of the consequences of your actions. You can't go around and destroy people's property or do whatever and expect that you're not going to face the consequences of those actions. So, anybody, I would hope anybody that is an advocate of freedom and free speech by extension is going to also be an advocate of assuming the responsibility of the consequences of your actions. And if you aren't, then You're not paying attention to what this is all about and why things work the way they do. Well, and see, that's also part of the problem. Society sucks because people don't want to handle their responsibilities. They don't want to accept those consequences. You can't have it both ways. Again, if we've got a basic definition of civilization that says you respect other people's rights, and in doing so, you are acting in a civilized manner. You are coexisting with the other people that you have to interact with on a daily basis because that's just life. And you respect their rights. And it's a two-way road. I respect your rights, you respect mine. Okay, now we're civilized. But you don't respect my rights and I don't respect yours. Civilization is impossible. So I look at I think I have to laugh every time I see somebody go, well, in the civilized world. No. There is no civilized world. It doesn't exist because there's way too many fucking people that can't be bothered with actually living civilized. But okay, so it's 5:33 here. I'm going to need to end streaming in about just under 20 minutes. So I'm going to start to wrap this up, but it looks like I'm literally only going to be able to do this one color in the remaining spots on the top side. See, there's a whole other side here I haven't even gotten into yet. So this is definitely going to be multiple streams, but there's a lot of, like, you see these big swaths here, 16, 4, 3, 19, 12. Those are much bigger spaces, and I can start moving into the wider brush and maybe getting at least those portions of it done faster, so we'll see. Yeah, that's still too wide for the majority of this stuff up here. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I agree with you, Af. I am in total agreement with you. They are not usually, in my experience either, willing to accept the consequences of their actions, let alone their speech. I have seen that exact same thing in so many places, especially in America. People think they can say anything they want and not face the consequences. And I'm not just talking about, like, in things with preferred pronouns or misgendering or even, politics or things like that. I'm just talking about just in general in everyday speech. Like you might want to, not you, I'm just using that in the general form. Someone might want to rake me over the coals for using the word fuck or something like that, and I'm going, what possible interest is it to society as a whole to stop people from using the word fuck? How does that benefit society? The only reason that people want you to not use the word fuck is because they They feel that if you follow the guidelines set out in their holy book or some kind of standard that they grew up with, even if it isn't like typical religious Christian, etc. values, that the world would be a better place. And there is zero evidence to suggest that that's accurate. There is nobody that can produce a single shred of evidence that says humanity is going to be better off if nobody said the word fuck. And if I'm missing that, please enlighten me. Please show me where I'm wrong. I've seen nothing. The only thing that comes into play is maybe like in the Bible, they talk about, salvation, and how if you want to be supposedly right with God, that you can't be doing, the things that they refer to as sins, and one of those things is vulgarity. Well, the funny thing about vulgarity is that the common words that we might consider, like with the current FCC 7 dirty words or whatever, those didn't exist 50 years ago. There was a whole different set of words that people 50 years ago and 100 years ago and 150 years ago assigned to that term vulgarity. Penn and Teller they had a show called Bullshit, I think on TNT or I don't know, one of those cable channels. And they did an episode on that, and what was the word that they said like 100 years ago used to be a dirty word? I can't remember. It escapes me at the moment. But let's just say it's bull hockey. Like if I say the word bull hockey, who's offended by that? Nobody. Because it's not bullshit, which some people would take exception to that word. So if I say bull hockey, that's fine. No problem. If I say God bless it instead of God damn it, that's okay. No problem. But the words change. So 100 years ago, I'm just saying, let's use it as an example because I can't remember what they said the word was. 100 years ago, people were offended by bull hockey, but now nobody's offended by that. So you're telling me that these specific words, the specific utterance of that line of sounds that your mouth makes that sounds like fuck is not acceptable, but they didn't even know, they didn't use that word 100 years ago. That was not considered a swear word. It wasn't even really considered a word so much 100 years ago. So you said fuck 100 years ago, and they're like, okay, no problem. So you're telling me there's this ever changing. I mean, here, let's just use it as an example. The word hell. Maybe back in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, hell was more of a swear word that people would maybe get offended by, especially religious folk, unless you were talking about like the actual hell in the Bible. Nowadays, most people aren't offended. Even the Puritans, even the most religious folk are not offended by casual use of the word hell. So you're telling me that we have to have a knowledge of this ever-changing list of bad words that we can't say lest we possibly offend somebody simply because they don't like that specific word and all that. How are you supposed to know exactly what's on the list at any given time so that you don't offend somebody? More to my point, if the FCC's purpose is to keep the airwaves clean, so to speak, why are the same 7 dirty words that were 30, 40 years ago that aren't necessarily the same type of meanings that there are today, why are those still banned? But you could go on there and you could say some kind of racial slur or some kind of sexual slur or something like that, and they wouldn't necessarily bat an eye about that. I'm not saying that like the N word, but like that was not necessarily used. The N word was not necessarily used as a racial slur 200 years ago. It at times was simply used not even as a derogatory sense, but it was used as just a descriptive term the same way you would say white guy today or black woman or, you know, Asian person. So it almost anything when it comes to language depends on context. Like I had a conversation I think with or you know part of the people, maybe you all were there, I think in his chat a couple of weeks ago, about how the academic sense, you know, using the N word in the academic sense, and there's people that are offended by that. So you can't use the N word in the academic sense. We always have to call it the N word, even though you know exactly what it is, I know exactly what it is, and we know what we're talking about. We're talking about it in the academic sense now. But I can't say that word because somebody might be offended and report me to Twitch and do something else. Now, I'm not actually using that word out of respect because I can identify easily that there are a lot of different connotations to that word, to the point where I typically, like most people, don't ever want to use it. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, if context is king, and it is, somebody using it in an academic sense, where the context is not that they're trying to demean or demoralize or insult or make the person that they're talking out to be a lesser person. If you're using it in a true academic sense, then there should be no problem. And people that get offended at that, it's being offended. Being offended is an inability to control your own emotions. There are a lot of things that I'm offended by every single day that nobody gives a shit about. Because I'm not a minority. I'm not politically minded anymore. And they're not cool things to care about. I think they're huge problems in our society, but that's a whole different ball of wax that I'm not going to get into. But I look at it like this. If you're offended, okay, do you have reason to be offended? Is what I said actually intended to offend you? And if it isn't, then I think you just need to get off your high horse. Because if context is king, then that would dictate to you that you need to take the context into consideration. And if no insult or harm was meant, then you need to drop it. But that's not the way of the world today. So many people just want to take offense and force other people to do their bidding. Behave in the way that they want them to behave instead of asking them, whatever happened, instead of demanding and people behave or be a certain way in society. What happened to asking them, or what happened to saying, you know, humbly, please, you're harming me. Stop it. And I think a lot of people in today's society have gotten to a point where they go, well, we've tried all that. We've tried very nicely to ask, and they still don't do it. So now we're resorting to different tactics. We're resorting to violence. We're resorting to protests. We're resorting to trying to get the government to force you to do these things. Well, there you go. You've just wiped out freedom in favor of utopia. Good job. I don't know. The whole thing is like distressing to me. And it seems like nobody can just treat each other with respect. Everybody's got to have an agenda. Everybody's got to have something that they're forcing on other people. And it's on all sides. Oh, I know. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But it's on all sides. I see the Republicans do it. I see the Democrats do it. I see the conservatives do it. I see the liberals do it. I see every single person virtually, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but I see so many people out there that feel that they need to tell other people how to live their life. I mean, if you didn't make one of my other streams where I was just ranting and raving for like an hour and a half, I was talking about how I'm a hardcore libertarian. That's my politics per se, which doesn't really mean a lot. They're all just labels. But my basic principle, my guiding life principle is I don't know better than you do how to run your life. So I have no business telling you, even through the government, how to live your life. You live your life and I live mine. And that's it. I don't have the right, nor should I have the ability to tell you how to live your life. So to try to create things in the government where you're telling people how to live their life is just wrong. And of course, there's limitations to that, Part and parcel with that is it's called the NAP, the non-aggression principle. That means that as long as I'm not harming anybody or infringing on their rights, you shouldn't be telling me how to live my life. Well, that same thing, two-way street. I can't tell you how to live your life, but I also can't infringe upon your rights to do with your life as you choose. And if I do, then I'm violating my principle there, and that's when government force is supposed to step in to govern our relationship. But so many people, like, this is where I really have to take big issue with fundamentalists, Christian fundamentalists, and big portions of the Republican Party, the conservatives, is that they go, oh, well, I'm a Christian. That's the best way to live your life, so I'm going to try to go into government and tell people that that's the best way to live your life. Right, Slight?
Right.
How you doing, man?
Good. I saw you in here just as I was.
Yeah, I'm about to end here in a minute,
that's
though.
Fine.
So, in fact, I'm gonna wrap this up here. because I've got a voice chat scheduled here in about 10 minutes that I got to do.
Cool.
And I have gotten exactly 2.1% of this thing done.
What thing?
I'm streaming, so say hello to everybody. No.
Wow, reveals. Good thing I
Yeah.
didn't say like, oh man, you should have seen what happened.
You're
when I
like,
went to the
hey man, I got some sausages for you, and what's going on?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, good thing you told me. I almost started telling you my life story.
Yeah, all the reveals. Slight is here to reveal the entire history of the world, and you're here
Well,
for
I
it.
just wanted to. I just ended like the watch party watching Star Wars. I
Oh,
thought I'd
okay.
come in here and say hi real quick.
Well, hello.
Hello.
So
And now I thought I'd say goodbye.
Okay. Yeah, if you
I'll let you do your thing.
yeah, if you pipe in on the stream real quick after you take off here, I'm showing off what I did. I'm doing a paint by number kit.
Let me see. I'll meet you in there.
Okay. See ya. So that's the top half, and from what I can see, like there's a few spots here where there's still a number 1, but it's very little down in this bottom section. So I think I'm pretty much done with the number 1, and clearly it's going to take a lot more of stream time to just fill in all these little tiny. That's what was so time consuming, is filling all the little tiny things in. When I get to like even that, the moon is going to be pretty time consuming. When I get to these big swaths, that'll go quick. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so at least I got that portion of it done. And we'll continue up in this area to do the top half next time we do this, I think. Finish up with whatever, like here. There's a few number 1s down in this part, but it's very far and few in between. And I'm sure I'm going to miss a few of them and we'll have to come back, but yeah. So that's what's done today. Clearly it's going to take a much longer time. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. So, I think I spent $10 for this kit. So, all right, let's find somebody to raid here. Before we do that here, let's do real quick some coming attractions on the EBC channel. This Tuesday at 6 p.m., I'm doing Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock is 50 years old this year. It literally started 50 years ago. So we're going to be watching a lot of those. If you grew up with Schoolhouse Rock, I have got probably all of the ones that you have heard of and several that you have not. So if you were a fan of Schoolhouse Rock growing up, yeah, I'm Just a Bill, I got Interplanetary Janet, I've got Conjunction Junction, I've got several of them. And I gotta see what the schedule of the show is going to be like, but I've got some other things from that era, 70s and 80s children's television, that I'm probably going to be doing at the same time. So yeah, it'll be great fun, very nostalgic for anybody that grew up with this stuff like me. But Schoolhouse Rock, that's Tuesday night starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday night, our DMCA Disney Doubles continues with Aladdin, 1992, and then the one that just came out in 2019. That's Wednesday in the Conflux. Thursday in the Conflux, That's Not Real Star Trek. We continue with a Lower Decks. So if you haven't seen that, I know Ragnats is a big fan of Lower Decks. Like, that's his favorite Star Trek series. Friday, I'll be back here. We will be doing some more Castlevania 2 practice. Starting at 6 o'clock. Saturday morning, Twin Speaks in the Conflux with Iznib as we continue that. And boy, that series is getting really juicy. And then Sunday, the EBC grand reopening. I'm going to have a ton of new stream elements for you. We're going to talk about the new archive on YouTube. I'm going to have the Thread of They, our third audio drama, to play for you. And our first official speedrun on Castlevania 2. I'm going to do it twice. And then take whatever the better time is between those two runs and go ahead and submit that to speedrun.com. So stop on by for that. That's all this coming week. You can also go to the website, www.ebc2021.com, to see the schedule and a whole bunch of other information. And if you send me a message, I will tell you to fuck off. Okay, we're going to go see Cage's favorite person in the world. The Dunkin' Donuts man. Well, I mean, I'll do that personally for free. You know, so you can, send me a message and I'll tell you to fuck off in it, and maybe that'll fit your fancy, and that'll be something that you enjoy, and I could enjoy it as well. I could be like, hey, this person told me to fuck off, and I told them to fuck off, and then they fucked off, and then we're all fucking off. Fucking fabulous. All right, we're going to go see Steph Babies. Steph and Murr and the Gaming Avengers are doing a collaboration. No, not Gaming Avengers. Yes, Gaming Avengers. Oh, and Trows. That's what it is. Murr, Steph Babies, Gaming Avengers, Ben, and Trouser Schnauzer are all doing a Soul Link challenge on Pokemon. So we're gonna raid into Steph's stream. And don't do anything I wouldn't do, because I'm not going to do that shit. And you can fuck off. Thank you. See ya. Good night.